As the full year 2024 results trickle in from listed companies on the Nigerian exchange, Muktar Mohammed, analyst at Assar Investment, believes the manufacturing, conglomerate and brewery sectors will continue to post strong gains at the end of the first quarter of this year on the back of sustained interest by investors. Well, he joins me now for a market review for the month of February. Thank you so much, Muktar. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me, Esther,
in the studio with us. Well, it's been quite a month for the market. Stocks, we've seen mixed trading, but we've seen some really good results. We have one or two that I wanted to unpack. But just share your thoughts generally. How would you describe trading highlights this month?
I think this month has been positive, depending on where you are. If you started the year with the banking stock, it was positive until 2 weeks ago. You've seen those declines in the banking stock. Even the tier 1 banks, we've seen those decline in terms of price. But again, investors are still expectant of those results, so you're not surprised why they decline, waiting for the CBM approval, because those shares are also in their close period. So definitely, I think when those results come, we might see a lot of activities. Though we've seen activity in terms of volume in those stocks, but in terms of price depreciation, it seems to have depreciated a little.
Right.
Like you said in your report, the conglomerate sector seems to be taking investors these days with the result that have come in from the brewery sector, Nigerian brewery, Guinness, Nigeria. We saw those impressive numbers, even despite we are not seeing those profit for them to be able to pay dividends. But again, we've seen them come back from a loss to a place of profitability, which is fantastic for the market when you look at what has happened to most of them over the years during this harsh economic
But what would you attribute it to? Company strategy? Is the business environment improving? What are they doing differently now?
I think it's company strategy. You look at Nigerian brewery, they closed about 2 of their breweries to reduce costs, concentrate. Also, they had to come for a right issue to move from a negative shareholder to a very positive shareholder. So from all about the strategy, in terms of sales, their sale actually went up, and that was also due to price increments in their own, most of their product. And again, that happened during the festivity period. So that you could all attribute that to strategy. Yeah, in terms of policies, nothing has really changed in terms of policy, because the exchange rate volatility is still there between 1,600 at the time that result was released. So, but again, the strategy, I've seen them coming. Now we have a little bit of positivity in terms of a little bit of stability in the exchange rate. And so also we know that though the earning ability of Nigerians have not really gone beyond where it is, but again, because of the hike in profits, it might cover up in terms of the volume itself.
And it's quite interesting. I mean, seeing those numbers recovering and still also looking at the inflationary environment, purchasing power, that hasn't exactly changed. But let's look at latest results that we had into the market, Lafarge and MTN. Let's start with Lafarge. I mean, robust full year 2024 earnings, strong top line. We've seen a reversal in previously recognized impairments and a slower OPEX growth relative to revenue. What do you make of this result from Lafarge?
Like I said, I think that's fantastic, and that's in the cement sector. So we're expecting Dangote to come in very soon. We expect that result to be huge because of its expansion drive also. But remember that they also suffer the FX challenges towards their third quarter result and thereabout. So for them to come back to profitability within the short period and also able to pay dividend of 1 naira and 20 kobo.
But you know they were able to do this because they were able to increase prices. So this was a price increase.
Exactly.
Situation,
it's just a price increase.
And of course then volumes.
The volume.
In the same environment. Which is that connect I'm looking for here. The economy hasn't exactly...
The economy hasn't exactly improved, but again, you look at Lafarge workload, then you look at government infrastructural programs, which is largely spending, which is most largely in road construction, and the new terminology of constructing this road using their product also have really helped them.
All right. Let's quickly move on to MTN. The company reported for the full year 2024, reported a loss of over 400 billion. But, I mean, top line grew to a record high of 3.3 trillion, boosted by strong data and voice. Of course, we know data and voice, especially data, 41.1 and 14.5% respectively. What do you make of this? I mean, strong top line, but, I mean, a couple of pain points that I'm seeing here.
Yes, I know some of the pain points has to do with the 400 billion loss. But again, where they're coming from, a height of about 900 billion loss to about 400 billion. All this is due to FX devaluation from a profit of 1.3 trillion, with those losses now to a profit of about 3 point something trillion, with a loss. Then the bottom line, you can see those improvement in terms of profit after tax and profitability. So I think in the short term, you could see that they are coming out of the wood. And remember, they have not priced in the recent hike in fare, right. So in tariff, so that has not priced in there. I think MTN is a stock to look for going towards the first quarter, the second quarter. We could see improvement. This is year-end result. Those hike in price, tariff will come in the first quarter result, right. Even if it's going to be towards March. But you see those tariff impact felt going forward in the second half-year result. So I think it's a stock to watch.
And this is a stock that investors will continue to position themselves I still strongly believe for long-term investor, value investor, long-term investor. This is the stock.
Because
this is one stock where investors have had to, stick with through thick and thin.
But they gave you a trader, not a place to go.
Not a place to go. Well, let's talk about, the new month ahead, March, beginning from next week. What do you see the investment play looking like? We're seeing yields declining a little bit, at the fixed income market. Could that be some kind of incentive for more investors at the stock market?
It could be when those results start trickling in, because March is always a result of the year-end result period where most of these results are published. Because especially the financial sector, they've gotten approval clearance from CBN because they've submitted these results since January. So you see a lot of activity in the month of March. In terms of dividend yield, you still see a lot of positive dividend yield, especially from the financial sector. So once those results comes in, then you could see possibility of movement from the fixed income space to the equity space. That could be. You could also see a long-term movement. Some fixed income investors will still tie their fund there, waiting for the first quarter results to determine the direction of particular stocks via the fixed income yield before they begin to take position. But in the month of March, definitely is always a month of a high expectation in terms of company earnings season, because you remember the Nigerian exchange group will give you a grace of 3 months to publish your year-end result. And normally by the end of March, virtually every company listed are supposed to have published their result.
Right.
But if due to regulatory issues like the financial sector, they're given an extension about 1 month. So the month of March is always a very important month in the investment climate in Nigeria for dividend pay, for capital appreciation, for reposition. So the month of March always have a trigger, and that trigger always comes through the earnings.
All right, great stuff. Thank you so much, Muktar. And of course, we'll see you also in the new month. Thank you for joining us today. Muktar Mohammed, analyst at Assar Investment.